Alright, I just so happened to stumble upon a video that was made 7 months ago called 12 Right Rappers That Are About That Life. And with me being white, somebody who enjoys listening to rap music, and somebody who frankly, it's not at all about that life if you couldn't tell by my fairly nerdy and dorky appearance, I felt like, you know what? This would be a fun video to look at, to react to. Really curious to see if any of these rappers I'm gonna recognize, or if it's just a bunch of random rappers who are kind of like unknown, who haven't really made a name for themselves. I'm kind of curious about that. So here we go. Let's get into it. 12 white rappers that are about that life. Let's get it.
12 white rappers that are about that life. Max the Demon. Max the Demon is a white drill rapper from Brooklyn.
I've never heard of this guy before. Max the Demon. Look at this dude. How is he about that life? If you look at him, saw him on the streets, you would not think that he is. You'd be like, oh, he's just some random white guy like myself. You know, just some random white guy walking around. That's what you would think. Now, I am a big fan of Brooklyn drill. It's one of the genres that I definitely do enjoy, but I've never heard of this guy before. Just found him on Spotify. He has 141,000 monthly listeners. It's got a good amount of songs with over 1 million plays, few million in some cases. If I'm gonna be honest, I might check him out a little bit, kind of hear what he sounds like, but you look at this dude, you're not gonna think that he's part of that life, bro. Like, he doesn't look like he is.
He started to gain attention in 2019 with his breakout track, 4 Quarters, and has built a decent buzz in New York with other songs like Speak On It and The Godfather, racking up over 1 million views on YouTube and Spotify. Little is known about Max's backstory, but like most drill rappers, he makes many references to selling drugs and shooting at enemies in his music. Max is rumored to be a member of the Insane Baby Crips and can be seen wearing blue and repping blue bandanas in his music videos. There's a rumor circulating on the internet.
Alright, so if you see his crew, the people he's around, the fact that he wears blue makes a little bit more sense. But I kind of want to know, is this music actually even valid? His music ain't that bad. It's not like phenomenal at all, but like it's better than I expected. I heard New York drill from white guy. I was kind of like, I don't know. It's a little bit better than I expected. This is his biggest song.
Internet that Max's father was a Russian immigrant who is currently in jail. However, this is unproven. In an interview with Mel's TV, Max's associates vouched for his street cred and claimed that he's really about that life.
He got love, but like it's so like for me, you know, his skin color, so he used to be like.
There's a few people that talk shit, but nobody's.
You know that this supporters back. My son named Michael Myers for real.
But the interview doesn't go too deep, so either Max is really about it, or he has serious people around him who are. Morrison. Morrison is a white drill rapper from the UK. He grew up.
Bro, y'all UK homies are gonna hate me for this, but UK about that life is a lot different than here in the US. Specifically places like New York, Chicago, Detroit, that type of area. It's a lot different of a scene from what I know, you know, especially because certain things that are legal here aren't legal in the UK. I'm not gonna exactly say what that is because the monetization or whatever, but you should know what I'm talking about. This dude does give off kind of like a you can't f with me type of appearance.
In London's East End and started releasing music in 2008. However, he spent some time in jail on drug charges not long after and didn't make a full return to the rap scene until 2017. Morrison has claimed his inconsistency with the music was due to his preoccupation with the street activity that was paying his bills.
Well, what happens, what I do on the road to pay my bills and whatever, it isn't music. Music doesn't pay my bills up until now.
The East End of London is known to be a rough area, and growing up, Morrison claims that being white made him a minority in his own neighborhood. Yet, despite his check past, now that his music is blowing up, he's 100% focused on building a legal career. But despite his decision to change his ways, he's still one of the most respected white rappers in the UK. GM.
Look, man, if that's what you have to go through to make your music career actually work, that is what it is. Right, but it's like for him as well, it's like right off the bat, you look at him and he doesn't look like the type of guy who would be about that. Not like race specific, but like he doesn't have that like that feeling of like being some guy who'd be about that, right? Because like hear me out, right? Like look at me right now. If I had neck tattoos, if I had like a throat blasted, maybe some face tats, you'd probably think I got something going on, right? Like you look at like Adam 22. If you saw him on the street, you'd probably think he's a gang member about that life type of feel. I'm starting to realize this video might be out of bounds for me a little bit, but we're going to go with it anyway. But yeah, that's what I got for that.
GMEBE Bands. GMEBE Bands was a white drill rapper from Chicago, Illinois.
Bro, why have they all been drill rappers so far? What's up with that? I know that drill specifically, more often than not, has a connotation with it being gang related, specifically because drill, you know, is fairly centered around places like, I guess, in the UK, but also places like Brooklyn, New York, as well as Chicago, like this guy's from. They've all been drill rappers so far. I'm really curious. Are we gonna have any non-drill rappers throughout this? I want to know.
Who was tragically murdered in 2019. Band started gaining attention in 2015 after doing a Vlad TV interview where he talks about his association with the Black P Stones, a major gang in Chicago. He was originally part of the GMEBE collective, but left in 2017 to pursue a solo career. He dropped the solo track, Really Had Much, that same year, which earned him a decent buzz in the city. In 2019, he was found dead in a wooded area in Winnebago County after being beaten to death and set on fire.
Jesus Christ. Beaten to death and set on fire. Wow, how do you get in that situation, dude? Obviously, this isn't a life that, like, I really know much about. I just find this intriguing that, like, that happened. Wow, dude. R.I.P., man, dude. That sucks. Sincerely, man. Like, all love toward your family for whatever they had to go through with all that. But, man, dude, that's tough.
Been missing for a few weeks prior after what police thought was a home invasion. 2 men were arrested for the killing. The case is still ongoing, and it's not entirely clear what happened. But according to sources close to the rapper, the men who allegedly committed the murder were close to him and at one point considered friends. Curb Lagoon.
Bro, see, that whole type of thing, I think, is gotta suck, right? Somebody who you consider to be your friend ends up doing something like that, dude, that's gotta be tough.
Curb Lagoon is a SoundCloud rapper from Saratoga, Florida, best known for a strange blend of high-pitched auto-tune rap and collaborations with other high-profile SoundCloud rappers like Lil Peep and Lil Tracy. Curb started as a chopped and screwed DJ and was inspired by New Orleans rappers like Juvenile and the Hot Boy. He started taking music seriously when he was released from prison in 2012 and created a bizarre, nasally rap style that fans either love or hate. He's frequently seen holding large guns and rapping about selling drugs in his music. In an interview with
See, just based on the music video clips from that guy, he looks like he'd be about that life a little bit. The way he's holding the gun in the music video, the sleeve of tattoos. I mean, I got tattoos. I don't think tattoos are necessarily like gang affiliated, but it's like the way that he was kind of presenting himself kind of gave off that feeling, I guess. This is an interesting video. I don't know how I ended up here, but we're going with it.
Brown rap blog Bombay Knox, Curb says that he turned to music as an outlet after being released from prison.
Hold up. Curb Lagoop. His name is Curb Lagoop.
Because it was the only path in life he saw for himself. So despite his strange delivery, Curb Lagoop is really about that life. Popek. Popek is a Polish rapper and professional MMA fighter. He's a big star in Poland who was known for
Poland
for his extreme behavior, like getting his eyeballs tattooed or being hung from hooks in music videos. He dropped out of school at age 14 and left home for Germany. He was one of the founding members of the first Polish gangster rap crew, Firma, and started his solo career in 2007. He became a superstar in Poland and has done collaborations with US artists like Stitches and The Game. In an interview with Noisy, Popek described some of the wildest things he's done in his life, like putting 9 tabs of LSD in his mouth and 2 others in his eyeballs, which put him in a coma for 6 months or intentionally scarring his face. Popek is an extreme—
Jesus Christ. Bro, is he good? Is he okay? Is he doing all right? It doesn't sound like it, man. Right, so what does about that life even really mean? Because this guy seems more about like that like intense drug life more than like the gang-esque life or whatever you want to call it.
Extreme character who knows no limits and possibly the craziest white rapper on the planet. Killian. Killian is a white drill rapper originally from Ireland but based in London. Despite looking more like a character from Harry Potter, Killian claims that he came up in the grimy streets of London and makes the music that describes the culture he's a part of. In an interview with the Donegal News, an Irish newspaper, Killian claims that he's had numerous friends die from stabbings who were involved in street activity. He also performs under the moniker SD, where he performs in a mask and raps about being involved in stabbings and other acts of violence.
See, that's kind of the whole thing that I brought up earlier in this is like, I feel like about that life means something different in the UK than it does in the US because there they got stabbings. In the US it's more shootings than stabbings, so it's kind of like this like inverse kind of concept. I am thankful that I never really fell into these situations, because like, man, dude, having your homie stabbed, being part of like I guess like a stabbing clan or something, I don't know how to phrase it, is that's gotta be an interesting life.
If he's really about that life or just doing it for the marketing is tough to tell. But he does seem to be surrounded by serious people who vouch for his credibility. Big body bet.
No, see, that's a good point. That is a really good point. Outside of just specifically white rappers, a lot of rappers kind of feel like they have to put this front on to make themselves seem kind of like they're part of that life. How it might just be a marketing strategy to make yourself seem like you're a part of that instead of actually being a part of that. Good example of that is CJ. You know, the guy who made Whoop-Dee. He got a lot of flack from a lot of Brooklyn drill artists for what he was rapping about. So for all we know, this could be a similar situation for this guy. We don't know for sure. Either way, it's an interesting case.
Big Body Bez is less of a rapper and more of a rap personality. He's best known for his association with rapper Action Bronson and his numerous appearances on Vice and other media outlets. Body was born in the Bronx to Albanian parents. He was a troublemaker from a young age and went to a juvenile detention center at just 12 years old. He was in and out of prison for most of his teenage years and early adult life until he started getting recognition for his spoken word interludes on Action Bronson's tracks. Body is an undeniable character who has a way with words. He often talks about New York City street culture and the struggles he's been through in life with a charisma and unique sense of humor. Plus, he's one of the most beloved figures in hip-hop who has never even dropped a single. Paul Wall.
Never dropped a single, beloved in hip-hop. That's gotta be sick. The stuff that he went through as a kid, obviously that sucks, but like, he's now kind of known for something in his life. It said he grew up in Bronx. The thing about, I guess, like New York City and the New York suburbs, I'm not from there, don't know a ton about it, but with what I know, it's one of those areas where it's like, it's just very, very diverse, and people from all walks of life are able to, I guess, exist in like all these different socioeconomic statuses. And it's just very, very diverse area.
Paul is a rapper from Houston, Texas, known for his signature grills and his association with Swisher House Records. He became a staple on Houston radio in the late 90s and early 2000s and is known for being a colorful character in hip-hop. Paul Wall is more known for rapping about Texas culture like candy-painted cars, blunts, and lean than being a hardcore street rapper, and has always been one of the most respected white artists in hip-hop. But in 2016, he and fellow Houston rapper Baby Bash were arrested on felony drug charges for possession of marijuana with intent to distribute.
This morning, the judge found probable cause.
See, bro, I feel like that's the thing that's kind of got to suck at this point, is it's like getting caught with that, with the intent to distribute, that thing specifically, especially in today's day and age where it's legal in like half the country, that's gotta suck. I'll be honest, like that's tough.
Cause to charge the two rappers, saying they were engaging in organized criminal activity.
A grand jury later declined to press charges against the rappers when it was revealed that the marijuana was for personal use and was not part of a drug trafficking operation.
Local rappers Paul Wall and Baby Bash will not face charges in connection to a drug raid.
Okay, look, they weren't charged for it, but I hate to say this, if they were a different race, they might have gotten charged for it. I'm well aware that happens often. A lot of you guys, I'm sure, are aware of that. But man, just the fact that they ended up going to court for it, just an interesting scenario. Like, hey, what does about that life even really mean? Is it, oh, you smoke a little bit here and there, you got a couple tattoos, or is it like, no, you're an actual like full like pew pew kind of guy? You know, I want to know.
From last year, a Harris County grand jury declined to indict the two men today.
But that doesn't change the fact that Paul Wall is one of the realest white rappers to emerge from the Lone Star.
Hold up, Paul Wall. I gotta look this dude up. He has a song with almost 40 million plays, 860,000 monthly listeners. Dude's not doing too bad. It looks like he's still been releasing music consistently, but it looks like his biggest song was from 2005. I guess an older hip-hop style type of rapper, traditional hip-hop, if you will.
State. Lil White. Lil White is a rapper from Memphis.
Lil White. This dude named himself Lil White. Wow.
Known for his association with 3 6 Mafia, as well as his own solo career. Lil White started rapping in high school and eventually dropped out to pursue music. He was part of a local rap group called Shelby Forest Click that would pass out mixtapes in Memphis. Their tape caught the attention of Juicy J and DJ Paul, who signed the artist to their label in the early 2000s. Lil White has rapped at length about his struggles with addiction and surviving in the street. In 2012, The artist was arrested and charged with driving under the influence and drug possession after police spotted him swerving back and forth. But he has since turned his past into a legal business and created his own strain of medical cannabis called OG White Kush that is now available in 11 states. Slow Tie.
See, that's actually kind of sick. How he's able to turn his life around like that. Going from, getting arrested for drug charges, all that, driving under the influence to using it to his advantage, making money off of it, making his own strain. I think that's kind of sick how he ended up going through it like that.
Slow Tie is a British grime artist from Northampton, London. He is of mixed race, and his mother is half Irish and half Barbadian. He was raised by a teenage single mother in a
It's 12 white rappers. Does it count if he's mixed?
council estate, the British form of public housing, in the Lings area of Northampton. As a kid, Slow Tie's mother struggled to put food on the table. The artist didn't have much interest in school. He would skip class so much, his mother would get in trouble, and without any other options to make money, he turned to drug dealing to support himself.
Ketamin's a horse tranquilizer. Yeah, well, that's how it originally started, or where I heard it first, you know what I mean? Then feeling hoarse, it's like when you've been out and you're mashed, and you're talking like this, you're right, mate.
He has referenced his criminal past in many of
Dude has a thick accent, bro. Wow.
his songs, specifically the track Drug Dealer off his debut album, Nothing Great About Britain. In the song, he recalls telling his teacher that he was going to grow up to become a drug dealer because there wasn't much else to do in the small city of Northampton. Millies. Millies is a rapper from Boston, Massachusetts. Born and raised in the Cambridge neighborhood, Millies recalls there being a stark contrast between the university life of MIT and Harvard and the hard-knock neighborhood he grew up in. He says the area where he came up was full of dealers and fiends, not professors and students. His parents broke up when he was 5, and as a kid...
See, if you look at this guy, he looks like he's about that life. Not only the tattoos, that plays a part, but also the way he just, appears. I know that sounds weird, but it's like this presence with, he has this kind of, this type of presence, so that makes sense.
He had several run-ins with the law. After his friend and collaborator, Rock Ducati, was shot and killed, he decided to take his music more seriously and change his path in life. In 2016, he was featured in a cypher at the BET Hip Hop Awards and has gone on to collaborate with legendary East Coast artists like Styles P and Jim Jones. Gutta 100. Gutta 100 is a new artist from South Florida. Not much is known about his background or personal life, but he's been releasing tracks for the past few years and has racked up millions of plays on songs like We Paid Remix and No Hook. He talks about street life in his music and can be seen sporting.
Okay, this is another thing I want to bring up. I feel like a big part of why some of these guys don't necessarily look like they're about that life, even though, for this guy, for example, he is heavily tatted, it's because he's not that big of a dude. Right, here's the thing, I'm a short guy, I'm 5'8", right, I'm not that tall of a dude, but think about this, right, if this guy were maybe 40 pounds of muscle bigger, he'd look a lot more intimidating. That's the thing, is it's I feel like for a lot of these rappers, they would fit the profile more if they were just more muscular and buff, of a I'm about that life type of guy, instead of this, I guess, for lack of better terminology, a slight skinny fat type of feel.
Guns and cash in many of his videos. He posted a gun of his prison mugshots at IG with the caption, "Difference between me and these other guys is I don't cap in my raps. From trap to rap, the album on the way," in an attempt to prove his credibility.
Okay, look, in his mugshot, yeah, he looks like he's about that life.
His music certainly sounds authentic, but only time will tell if Gutta 100 will blow up and be a big star or end up trapped in the street.
All right. Well, that concludes that video. Interesting video, to say the least. Quite an interesting watch, frankly. I found that very intriguing. Before we end it off, though, this was for entertainment purposes only. Don't necessarily take anything I said seriously. Am I stepping out of line a little bit, reacting to this? I don't know. But with that said, hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you like this style of video, let me know. I've never done a video like this where I react to another video in this sort of style before. I've never done that, so if you guys like it, let me know down below. Join the Discord server down below as well. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of the future videos that I post, and click on this place popping up on screen and go and binge some of my content. With all that said, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace.